Hello and welcome. Today's video is about this here. This is a pocket trumpet in the key of B flat. This particular example was made by Jupiter in Taiwan, and although a lot of the lacquer is worn off and it's not in great aesthetic condition, it still plays very nicely and is a pretty fine example of what a pocket trumpet is. So let's start at the start. What is a pocket trumpet? Well, it's one of these. And the main reason for its existence is that it is a much more compact version of a regular trumpet. This here is a regular trumpet, and if I hold the pocket trumpet here, you can see the difference in lengths. It is much shorter. Despite the fact it is shorter, it's actually still got the same length of tubing, it uses the same size mouthpiece, and it produces the same notes. It's just all the tubing is wrapped up in a much tighter configuration to enable it to be, by the name, pocket sized. Now the only reason for this instrument really to exist is because it is a little bit more compact. The thought behind it was that it would be easier to travel with it, to take it away on holiday and keep up your practice. Unfortunately, there are a number of downsides to the pocket trumpet. The first is that it's quite difficult to hold. With a normal trumpet, you can have your hand encased around the valve block in the middle there, and you can hold it very comfortably in that manner. Now, while it's true this trumpet is missing the thumb hook to be able to hold it there, normally they have them, but this one just doesn't, there is no convenient place to put your right thumb. You can't rest it against the first valve because you've got the first valve tuning slide in the way here. If you stretch it all the way over there, then it feels very unnatural, and so it becomes a bit of a challenge. How do you hold one of these comfortably? If we look on the right hand and wonder where we put the right hand, then the equation doesn't get any easier. We've got a little thumb ring here, which is on this part here. This is the third valve tuning slide, and we can sort of put our thumb in there, but we've got a bit of tubing right in there that gets in the way, and then the rest of it you just sort of have to claw onto it in the best way that you can. It's not a comfortable instrument to hold. The second major downside of pocket trumpets is that it's very difficult to tune them as you're playing. Most new modern trumpets will have thumb rings and finger saddles on the first and third tuning slide to enable you to adjust the tuning using your left hand on the fly, so you can fix things like bad intonation or just some of the characteristics of tuning that we have to deal with as brass players. Well, on the first slide on this instrument, it folds around and is in a place that you can't adjust it on the fly because your fingers are doing all the valve work. On the back there is this thumb ring that you can sort of articulate by using your thumb as a pivot against this inner tube in here, but it's still very clunky. It's not an instrument that's designed in this particular configuration anyway to be perfectly in tune. Some pocket trumpets have the same size bell as normal trumpets, but not in the case of this one. If we take a normal trumpet like this one and we rest the bells up against each other, you can see that there is quite a difference. If I line it up at the bottom, which is that more or less, you can see that it overlaps at the top. And also the shape of the flare, this part along here, that's different too. And what that means, the result of that, is that it can be quite difficult to try and fit mutes into this instrument. I've got a generic trumpet cup mute here made by Humes and Berg, and if I try to put that into the bell, it sticks out a ludicrous amount, and it just renders some of the tonal aspects of the bell of the mute a bit pointless. If we take a Dennis Wick Harmon mute like this one here, no matter how hard I try, it doesn't fit whatsoever. It just falls out because the angle of the cork does not fit the angle of the bell flares. Even though the trumpet has a number of downsides and things that you're going to have to put up if you want to use it, if you're going to use this for its intended purpose, which is as a travelling aid, then it certainly does fit the bill. It is a lot smaller, it is a lot more compact, you can literally throw it in your luggage and it takes up very little space. What I'm going to do to finish this video is to play an extract out of a piece. I'm going to firstly play it on this trumpet, and then I'm going to play it on a regular trumpet so that you can hear the tonal differences between the two.